Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, and I thanked our esteemed leader for this time. And I rise in strong support of H.R. 4324, the Strengthening Oversight of Iran's Access to Finance Act, authored by our good friend, Mr. Williams of Texas, who is swinging for the fences. When the Obama administration signed this terrible Iran nuclear deal, in addition to the lifting of sanctions and sending billions of dollars to this hideous regime, it also authorized licenses for the export of commercial passenger planes to Iran. After selling the world a bill of goods, the administration then turned around and agreed to allow the sale of planes to the world's biggest exporter of terror. Not only that, but U.S. financial institutions would be needed to finalize these sales, meaning American taxpayers' dollars could be used to finance these sales. The results were predictable, Mr. Speaker. Iran has been using its commercial planes to transport fighters, to transport weapons, to transport material to Hezbollah in Syria, just to mention one, and the list could go on and on. Many illicit activities. This is not something that Americans would be supporting, let alone underwriting. And that is why Mr. Williams' bill is so important, and I thank Mr. Henseling for bringing it to the floor. It protects the U.S. financial system, and it protects the taxpayers by giving us in Congress greater oversight. That's what this bill is about, oversight over businesses that the Treasury authorizes with Iran. As we have heard, speaker after speaker, Iran is the #1 leading state sponsor of terror. It is responsible for the deaths of countless American brave men and women fighting overseas. It is a destabilizing force in Syria, to name just one of the countries. The supreme leader, he calls for the destruction of our most trusted ally, the democratic Jewish state of Israel, and the calls for death to America, Mr. Speaker. They go on, and it is written on walls. I asked the chairman if I could have
I yield the gentlelady an additional minute.
Thank you so much. I saw the speaker's gavel about to pounce. And the JCPOA was flawed. Now, we all know that. It was weak, and it was dangerous. So let's ask our constituents, our taxpayers, if they want their dollars to fund the purchase of planes for the #1 state sponsor of terror. I think that the answer would be no. And we are actually being asked to supposedly support American jobs by helping Iran, the #1 terror state, to buy planes so this horrid human rights abuser of a country, this killer of Americans, can use these very planes to continue exporting its terror activities throughout the world. This is preposterous. It is a false choice. This bill protects the American consumer, it protects our constituents, it protects the taxpayer, and it gives us in Congress the proper oversight. Let's pass what this is, a common sense bill. And I thank the